is part of it, and then the election is going on as we are speaking, as we talk right now. It's going on simultaneously in other states. I don't know where you're coming from. Were you able to cast your vote before coming to the studio?
Yes, I was able to cast my vote to exercise my civic duty. My franchise before coming now have what you call off-cycle elections. States like Edo, Delta, Edo, Bayelsa, Anambra, Osun, Ekiti, and the rest of them. But the entire 36 states are having states assembly elections. And it's happening across
8 of the states. 8 are not having this Guba election. But the houses of assembly are going on.
The Guba election is going on. In fact, I think I have actually covered about 6 or 8 polling units.
Okay, so what's happening in those areas?
Yes, voting is going smoothly. Although there is never any issue of violence or maybe ballot snatching or thuggery, you understand, as we are witnessing in some parts of the country. INEC actually in those areas, INEC came quite early enough, unlike before. And then in some areas, I can tell you, counting of the votes itself has already begun. Yes, in one of the areas, I can tell you that counting of ballots has actually begun. And it's good to know that this election, for this very election, we have about 830-something Guba aspirants on the ballot across the federation. I think only 24 or so of them are women. So we still have a problem with inclusion. And then if you look at from the statistics made available to us, in the last election, I'm talking about 2019, the last general election, 34% of youths aspired to political offices. In this one, 28.6 or so are aspiring. So it actually speaks to something too. There is a sharp decline. And then unlike the last election, or let me say the presidential and the National Assembly elections of 25th February 2023, this election did not have a similar turnout of voters the same way it had happened prior now. Maybe, and then Nigerians can actually access the results and then know that the commission means business this time around.
All right, and if you also look at our screen, you see that the thing is going on, and then if you look around and see how those who are voting, you see how the capturing is going on with the beavers, and then I think this time I'm sure Nigerians and even INEC, I'm sure INEC will be getting it better this time because of what has happened. And then there is a news also that filtered in about changing the INEC chairman, that is a Mahmoud Yakubu. I don't know how factual that is, but we are still watching. I doubt how that will be possible when the election is not yet concluded.
That could be like changing horses midstream. It may not actually work out well. Let it also be clear that Mahmoud Yakubu is term limited now. He cannot go beyond this term. There is by the provision of the law, he can only go one term and then another renewable term. It's just renewable. So he can't go beyond this. And then, so if there is anything, telling him to resign now, I wouldn't know why. If he had wanted to resign, he would have done so honorably, following the criticisms, harsh criticisms that trailed or that followed the 25 February election.
Sorry, do we have a polling unit that crunches? Where they just showed now is a crunches by here in Enyimba City, Abia State. That's do we have a polling unit in?
That's the meaning. That's the meaning. It means we have, as you can see the voting cubicle there.
Yes.
You can see reporters there. You can see our reporters.
Yeah.
You can also see them talking to voters, or even someone like an observer.
It's even wonderful they have a
polling unit
in crunches because, and especially if they are on today, I'm sure they're going to make a hell lot of sales. Because if you go around the city, you hardly can see any restaurant that is open. And also they also want, I think either the IG or the INEC want, they don't want to see these hawkers, bones and so on moving about. So I think if Crunches is open, this will be a wonderful opportunity for those of them who could now eat at home, and
Yes.
so that after casting your vote, you can go there and take care of yourself.
Yes, but I think I noticed something that actually gave me concern. The roadside traders, they were out today. Those
Selling?
Yes, doing on perishable stuff like tomato and the rest of them. And then people, and in fact, I saw young boys playing football along the street, and I tried to talk to them. Some say they will still vote, others say the one they voted before did not count. And it was just like that. So I think to a great extent, we may not have the same number of voters we had in the last election. And then again, it's also important to note that there is a question now coming up. The question is that the turnout was more than what INEC reported. INEC said 28 point something percent came out in the last election. But from what we have been able to gather from the civil society situation room and the rest of them, they said the turnout was massive. So I wouldn't know why that turnout was actually underreported. I am thinking that this election, if we get to witness a situation where there is low or there is a high voter apathy, it will be